us on Facebook, namaste all. My name is Nikunj Trivedi. I'm the president of Coalition of Hindus of North America, or CoHNA. And today's session is going to focus on an update related to the New York Bill S2727. It's an education bill that's talking about symbols of hatred and deeming swastika as a hate symbol. As a quick background for all, in summer of 2020, the state of New York was contemplating an education bill that would teach students from grades 6 to 12 about symbols of hatred. And while the intention of the bill is good, it's important to teach children about how symbols can be used as symbols of intimidation and bigotry and intolerance. And these are important things for today's society. Problem was that the bill incorrectly called the Nazi symbol of hatred as a swastika, when in fact Hitler and the Nazi party never used the word swastika for their symbol of hatred. After an outrage from Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain groups back in the summer of 2020, the bill was stalled and it did not pass. However, with the new Senate, the bill has been introduced under S2727 as of January 2021. So what's at stake for the communities? The bill, first of all, incorrectly deems a sacred symbol for over 2 billion currently living people from various cultures around the world as a symbol of hatred. It also incorrectly calls swastika as a symbol of hatred worldwide, when naturally speaking, it is not the case. Currently, 2 billion people use it as a symbol of peace, well-being, and prosperity. The bill does not differentiate between swastika and the Hakenkreuz, swastika being a symbol of peace, well-being, and prosperity, and the Hakenkreuz being the symbol for Hitler and the Nazi party. The bill also subjects students to learn an incorrect meaning of the swastika and perpetuates misinformation and misunderstandings about Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, and other traditions. But more alarmingly, the bill may also create the potential of hatred towards and bullying of Hindus, Buddhists, and Jain and Native American students who use swastika or similar symbols in their cultures. To clarify some myths about the bill, because we have had many people who have either started petitions or have called us about what the status of the bill is, I want to just bust 3 myths about this. First is the bill bans the swastika. That is not true. The bill only calls for the swastika to be taught as a symbol of hatred in New York schools. So it's very important for us to understand the bill is not banning swastika. It's an education bill. The bill is being passed today or tomorrow. No, this is not a town hall to pass the bill or reject the bill. This is a community town hall. The bill is currently being discussed in the Senate Education Committee. To just understand the process, first the Senate Education Committee has to approve it, then it will go to the full Senate, to the Assembly, then to the governor, and then sign into law if it makes it there. And the third is we are just starting these conversations. That is also not true, because various organizations, some of them are here today, we've been working together since the summer of 2020 to address our concerns with Senator Kaminsky and other co-sponsors. So it's not that we're just starting the process. This process has been going on since summer of 2020. We have written various letters and petitions. Our last petition had 10,000 signatures in summer of 2020. And many people have already called the senators and written to them, as well as the assembly members, because last time the Senate had passed the bill, it went into assembly. So both the Senate and assembly members are aware of what's going on right now. So what's been the progress so far? As I mentioned, multiple organizations from around the state have met with different senators, Senators Kaminsky, Thomas, and Mayer, along with local senators to express concerns and work on amending the language, changing the language. We have also clarified that we do support the intention of the bill, but we want to ensure that the educational curriculum reflects accurate information, which means distinguishing between swastika and the Hakenkreuz. We have done continued calls and meetings with senators by various community clusters around New York. So whether you live in upstate New York, and if you're in New York City, or if you're in Long Island, many community clusters have called their respective senators and representatives. We also had a swastika conference earlier in February during the UN Interfaith Harmony Week, where we had various Buddhist, Jain, and Hindu organizations come together and voice our concerns from the US and in different parts of the world. People have asked us what you can do to help. So I want to just talk about 4 different things, and we'll bring out the messaging in the next slide. First, we should stick to our key messages. So we'll talk about those key messages, but it's important for us to stick to those messages as a community, as a group of organizations and individuals. We have to speak in the same voice, speaking in a united voice and the same voice on the topic. But we also support the intention of the bill. We want the bill to pass, just not in the way it is right now. We need to reach out to our local Senate representatives and share our concerns respectfully. We should not be, going in angry and having, disrespectful comments and things like that. You can also go to the Senate website and you can vote no for the bill, and you can voice your concerns there also. We can also hold educational sessions. So some of the community members have already held educational sessions. We'll find out more information at CoHNA.org/swastika. You can talk about how the swastika is not the same as the Hakenkreuz, how swastika is sacred, how Hitler never used the word swastika, the Nazi party never used the word swastika, so on and so forth. So it's very important for us to do that. So I would say these will be the 4 places that if you're interested in helping, you can certainly help. You can become a partner in this effort. All that information is available at CoHNA.org/swastika. So what are some key messages that we can convey in our discussions? First one, we fully support educational efforts on hatred and intolerance in order to create a harmonious and mutually respectful society. This is very important because as Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and other groups, we do believe in mutual respect. We believe in harmony and things like that. Swastika itself is an ancient and sacred symbol that is thousands of years old and is currently used by close to 2 billion people across many cultures worldwide. So it's not a symbol that was disappeared a while ago. This is a currently used symbol. Swastika is also a Sanskrit word, which stands for well-being, peace, and prosperity. Hitler and the Nazi party never used the word swastika. They only use the word Hakenkreuz, or what they call the hooked cross. The hooked cross can be found in various churches across Europe, Northern Africa, Latin America, and has very different meaning and symbolism than the swastika. Hitler did not misappropriate swastika. He misappropriated an ancient Christian symbol, which he called the Hakenkreuz, and turned it into an emblem of hatred and destruction. The bill should reflect language that clearly distinguishes between the swastika, which is a symbol of peace, well-being, and prosperity, versus the Hakenkreuz, which is Hitler's symbol of hatred. We also need to ensure that it accurately reflects the meaning of the word swastika and the meaning of swastika in these cultures. So these are some key messages that I would encourage everybody to take. And we will also share this on our website in the next day or two. If you want to ask questions, you can send us an email at info@cohna.org, and we will be happy to share these types of messages for everybody. We also want to share some myths, because there have been mixed messages from our community about what the swastika really is and the meaning of the word swastika versus what Hitler used. So there are 3 points that I would like to clarify for people. The first one is there's something called Nazi swastika versus Hindu, Buddhist, or Jain swastika. That's a myth. There is no such thing as Nazi swastika. There's only swastika. Hitler and Nazis never used the word swastika, but used the word Hakenkreuz, which means hooked cross. Second myth that people say, oh, well, Hitler's swastika is tilted while the Hindu, Buddhist, Jain swastika is straight. No, not really. While the Hakenkreuz is tilted, in reality, swastika is drawn in many different ways as a symbol of peace, well-being, and prosperity. So whether it's flipped or straight, with dots, without dots, that doesn't really matter. The Hakenkreuz may be drawn tilted, but that is not a Hitler swastika. That is called the Hakenkreuz. It's the usage of the geometrically identical shape for peddling hatred should be the focus, rather than using tilted versus straight and not. You can draw a similar shape of Hakenkreuz and it may look similar to swastika, but how it's used is very important. Another thing that we have noticed is people say, well, we should spell Hitler swastika with a W versus the Hindu, Buddhist, Jain swastika with a V. Well, there's no such thing, as I said, that there's no such thing as Nazi swastika. Swastika is also a Sanskrit word and is used by 3 traditions, very specifically, Hindus, Buddhists, and Jains, and only has one pronunciation. To give you an example, many people can say, Bhagavad Gita, sometimes they spell it as with a V, so B-H-A-G-A-V-A-D, or with a W. That the V one is more popular nowadays than the W one. But in the case of Saraswati, the W word, S-A-R-A-S-W-A-T-I, is more popular. Similarly, Bhagavan versus Bhagavan, the word B-H-A-G-A-W-A-N or B-H-A-G-A-V-A-N are also similar. So for us, the Sanskrit pronunciation is only swastika. There is no swastika with a W. There's no swastika with a V. It's only swastika. Similarly, that word does not exist in the German language. So Hitler and the Nazi party never used that word. So we need to be very clear that there is no such thing as Nazi swastika. There is no such thing as Hitler swastika. There is also no spelling of swastika with a V versus a swastika with a W. Those are all English spellings for the people who use this word in Sanskrit. There's only swastika. So we just wanted to clarify that as well. For more information, you can go to CoHNA.org/swastika. I would highly recommend you to join us in these efforts and get more information there. And just remember, swastika is not Hakenkreuz.